It's the Body and Soul Show, and because we offer all things health, food, fitness, lifestyle, you know that you want to keep it locked down for the next 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. I'm Dr. Kemi Awoyemi, and once again, you're welcome to the Body and Soul Show. Now, I'm not alone. As usual, I have my co-anchor, Dr. Foy.
The Foy himself.
Calm down, let me introduce you.
The Foy himself. The one and only Foy.
How are you, darling?
I'm good, I'm fine.
So how have you been? How has everything been?
Good.
Work,
good.
business,
New
life.
government. It's feeling new season.
You're feeling the new government.
I'm feeling, of course, man. Good government. And I hope it's a pro-health government. I hope so.
Of course, always.
Always a pro-health government.
Okay, so we have a lot on the rundown for you today, and very importantly, we are going to be talking about some of those tingling sensations you feel on your arms, on your fingers, your feet, your legs, and of course, the cough reflex. And we have our word for the day, so you know that you want to stay here because there are 2 doctors in the house, and we're going to be giving you everything health and lifestyle. What do we have? Now,
the word for the day is paresthesia.
Paresthesia, okay. And
it means a tingling sensation that is caused by blood occlusion to different parts of the body. So I remember when you were younger, even now, when you sleep and you wake up, it happens to me a lot. I wake up and I can't feel my hand. And I'm like,
hand, come back.
Hand, come back. Don't just go. When I was young, I was terrible because I'm like, God, is that bad?
Am I going to die?
I'm going to die. It's bad. Don't cut off my hand. Now, simplest is simple. There was a blood occlusion and no nervous function was working down there, basically.
Okay, so a vessel was occluded, blood couldn't get
to the hand. Okay. And so you have it in the leg, the hand.
And particularly, the reason why it's common in the arms and in the legs, because these are areas that we could actually just, put in a particular position. So basically, you apply pressure on that hand, and then there's a shortage or cutoff of blood supply there.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's really common in the hands.
Some people sleep like this. Some people sleep in very, very weird positions. It will happen to you regularly. For me now, because now I sleep because of that. Now, some people, some other conditions that might have it.
Yeah, because like these ones you're talking about, they're usually temporary occlusions, like you said.
Yeah.
So it will just happen, and by the time you bring the hand, massage it, and all of that, blood would now come back, and then you would have the sensation.
Back, yes.
But for some conditions that are chronic.
Neuropathologic conditions,
exactly.
Yes.
For example, there's an artery, and then there are atheromas, which are like fatty plaques in the inside of the arteries, blocking it. So you don't have a lot of blood getting to some of those places. And that's why I think one condition where this is seen, especially, is in diabetes. Yes, diabetes is one condition that you have. And, they usually call it pins and needles, the pins and needles sensation, when you feel like 1,000 pins are, biting your pricking your hands or your feet.
Distal,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, it's very important that those that are diabetic understand what kind of footwear to wear. The right padded footwear, because you don't want your leg to get injured and you don't feel the sensation, and this can cause chronic issues for you.
Now, in fact, I think the first thing you want to advise a diabetic is they should not even go barefoot at all.
Ever, yes.
Because most times they can't feel their feet. They can't really feel it because especially when it's chronic, maybe there's persistently elevated blood sugar levels. They can't really feel it, and then when there is an injury, they may not even know it's there. And you know how, because blood is not flowing there, you don't have enough oxygen getting there. It now gets...
And then you don't have bacteria getting there, infections, and inflammation.
It's one of the diabetic foot is actually one of the commonest causes of amputation in medicine. You have a lot of people, getting amputated below the knee, above the knee. So it's something, paresthesia, as easy as you may think, oh yeah, I'm having these pins and needles because I slept in a particular position.
Yeah.
You should know that it's something that is very important. It's your body's way of reminding you to allow blood get to that part of your body.
Now, adding to being diabetic, it's called gangrenous foot, where it's inflamed, it's smelling and all that. Now, if, for example, your father was usually...
What is called gangrenous foot?
The
a diabetic foot that doesn't
heal fast, yes, healing fast, yes. And then you might have to go for a BK below the knee. Now, I want to add that some people like the sensation of no pain. Yes, so it's a known fact. I read that some people try to take morphine and it's dangerous for your health. Kids, when they flog you, should feel pain. It's normal. That is the normal sensation. So pain is part of life. I felt it. We'll be right back. We'll be right back after this break.
It's time for Trendoscope. Today on Skin Deep, we shine the light on trends rocking the season right now. Highlighting and contouring, one of the oldest practices in the makeup industry. It used to be a secret of makeup artists to transform performers, especially on stage, from one character to the other, giving the face a more defined, angular appearance. But today, this makeup trick has come to stay, with pictures all over social media timelines, with faces of people you would barely recognize if they had their makeup off. And we have Kim Kardashian to thank for making the highlighting and contouring trend really popular. And if you don't know who she is, you must be living under a rock. Skin lightening. They say orange is the new black. We say yellow is the new black. We are amazed at the increasing number of girls we see bleaching their skin, in spite of its link to blood cancers like leukemia, cancers of the liver and kidneys, and severe skin conditions. According to WHO, 77% of women in Nigeria use skin lightening products, the world's highest percentage. Startling discovery? In spite of the world's apparent love for Lupita Nyong'o and her exotic black skin, for those who bleach, staying black is not beautiful at all.
You're back to the Body and Soul Show. Now you can follow us on Twitter at CoolTV Body and Soul, and on Facebook and Instagram at CoolTV Nigeria, #Body and Soul. Now, Dr. Kemi.
Yes, Dr. Foy.
Let's talk about cough.
Yeah, cough.
Let's talk about cough, yeah. Now, cough usually is a normal, voluntary or involuntary act of the body to expel mucus, foreign particles, or just a reflex from dust, from fine girls to when that's a fine. So it's a reflex, voluntary or voluntary. But then, coughing could be dangerous.
Yes, but why don't we start with the advantages? Coughing is protective.
Very protective.
Coughing is actually protective. I mean, when you cough, your body is trying to get rid of particles that may want to go down the wrong track. Example,
yes.
Food that is supposed to go down your esophagus is about to go down
your
your air
lungs.
pipe, and then you cough.
So it's fantastic to cough.
So you get rid of it. It doesn't go through your trachea into your lungs, and boom,
and then dust particles around the lung tract. Yeah, it's good to expel them, but
coughing could be dangerous.
Dangerous. So if you cough for like 2 hours, it could be flu, reflex. But if it's like 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, my people, there could be trouble. What do you think?
What kind of trouble? What kind of trouble? Cough is something that is usually mostly caused by viruses, and that's why sometimes when you have a cough, they say, oh,
it's self-limiting.
You don't have to worry about anything. But if you see that cough is taking a longer time, there are some people that will come and they'll tell you they've been coughing for 6 months. I'm like,
no.
How have you been coughing for 6 months?
Yes,
but for some people, it will come and go. They'll tell you, oh, I coughed. You know, this whole episode started about 6 months ago, but I would cough and it would stop. I would cough and it would stop. I would cough and it would stop. So personally, I think cough is a symptom that should be taken really seriously. Why? Because it is one of the, in fact, it's the cardinal symptom of tuberculosis,
yes,
and a whole lot of other
respiratory
conditions like acute respiratory infection, which is one of the killers of under 5 children under the age of 5. One of the 5 killers of children under the age of 5.
Yes.
So if you have a child under the age of 5 that is coughing
and is coughing
even if it's a cough that has, for children, exactly now, for children, you know, for adults, we're like, if the person has coughed for at least 2 weeks, you want to look into it.
Yeah.
But for children, you can't wait that long. If your toddler or your child has been coughing for
3
about
hours, 4 hours.
it's not as serious as what was you on with these hours that you be? Is it that the child is just coughing for 3 hours? But if your child seriously has been coughing in episodes for at least 3 to 4, 5 days, you should see a pediatrician. Get your child checked out, because if you listen to those lungs, you just might be surprised at what you would hear. For some kids, you would hear crepitations, and if that infective process going on is not arrested, it could. In fact, right there, it's an acute respiratory infection. Now, if it is not arrested, it could, like we said, ultimately end up in death.
So it is important that we understand the timing for kids and adults.
And adults, yes.
Now for those who are asthmatic, it's important that you understand. Now, do you know, it's very interesting. Some people are not diagnosed of asthma up until the point where they're coughing to stupor. So it's very important that when you cough and it's repeating itself a lot, please come to the hospital to get
yourself checked out.
Yeah, because
Now, before we went on this is not, we were talking about cough, and we're talking about some of those symptoms and all of that.
Yeah.
And we said that most importantly, if you've been coughing for 2 weeks to a month, you should get yourself checked out, especially because cough, for some people, it could be productive, it could be non-productive, it could be viral, it could be bacterial, it could be dry. There are so many symptoms of cough out there, or so many characteristics of cough, which you should make sure you get checked out
quickly.
Now, on the 5, Dr. Foy, the 5. Now, this is very important for me because it has to do with you, and you're going to be taking us on the 5 because I have never been to the barber in my life. Today, we're going to be talking about the 5 things you need to know or not know before you go to the barber.
Oh, good. So on the 5
so you're
today,
going to get a haircut. What do you need to know?
What do you do? Now, for people like us, the prim and proper guys, the fresh ones with the fresh haircuts, there are things you need to know. So
you call this haircut fresh?
It's fresh.
All right.
That nice one, shades, nice one, nice.
I was just asking.
But the first thing you need to do is, 1, have your clipper. That's the first thing, have your clipper.
You know, I don't understand it. I'm like, in this day of blood infections, where people are having HIV, hepatitis B, and all of these things, people will still go, they'll say, oh no, the guy is going to sterilize it. Why can't you get yours?
Please have your, it is very important. Hepatitis B, hepatitis C, it is very, so have a clipper. Now, 2, and clippers are not very expensive nowadays. You can find for above 2,000, 3,000, so buy a clipper, that's the more.
All of 2,000, do they last?
They try. You keep sharpening them. 2 is, this is amazing. 2 is, if you don't have a clipper, make sure they sterilize with fire. Yes, now they put some kind of of inflammable oil on it, and then they light the fire. Now, fire is the best way of sterilizing.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Have you done this? Because I know you haven't. For a lot of people, they're just on their way back from work and they're like, oh my God, I have this event to go for this weekend and I don't have my hair cutting equipment with me. So have you ever been in that position, and when you got to the barber's place, what did you do? Did you actually tell them to set it on fire right in front of you?
Yes. So one is get sued.
For a serious...
Honestly, yes.
Okay, honestly?
Honestly, do that.
Okay.
Number 3 is when you barb, please make sure they wash your hair. It is important they use fruit shampoo to wash your hair.
If it doesn't have fruit, no.
I like fruit. It's nice. It's classic. It smells good. I like the minty smell. So use a shampoo to wash your hair. And this is why. Now, most men have dandruffs. Most men have cakes on their hair because they think that, and most men barb their hair and they rush off to work. Okay. So wash your hair after you barb your hair. Number 4, use anti-bomb ointment or cream. So use aftershave. It is important to use aftershave. Use things that will make your hair follicles relax.
Sorry, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why do they emphasize on aftershave? Why not before shave?
As in, really?
No, seriously. You know why I'm saying so? Because I've seen, you know, when you have all these adverts of blades and stuff, and you have this guy, you know, hot,
smooth,
hunky-looking guy with he has this white, creamy stuff on his face, and he's just going.
And he's going out. Yeah.
Do you get?
Yes.
That's supposed to be like the before shave.
Yes.
Or is that the after shave?
No, that's a shaving cream.
Oh, that's just a shaving cream.
Simple.
So it's like before shave.
No, it's not before. So
or
please,
pre-shave.
No.
Sorry, I don't have a brother.
Oh, so please, aftershave, use expensive, good ones. Some people just use spirits.
Why are you saying expensive? Does it have to be expensive for it to be good?
Use good products. Let me put it that way. Use really good products.
Okay.
Yeah. And number 5, which is very, very important, and it's a joke, but it's very serious. Do not think your baba knows what is in your mind. Always explain. Always explain to him what you want to see on your head. Now, the reason why is that I lost my beard recently because I just went to the barber salon and sat down.
Okay, that's true.
Yes, it's different. And then
I knew there was something. You know that you say this fresh haircut. I was like,
and I sat down and I said, please, a quick one.
So were you sleeping? Is it that you slept off?
No, I just zoom, and he was gone.
It was all
and
gone.
It's like 2 years of keeping his beard. It was gone. So please,
sorry,
make sure you tell your barber what you want. These people, they will mess you up. So explain to them. They're not the Holy Spirit. They're not telepathic. Explain to them and make sure he has good hygiene. Some barbers don't. Make sure he has good hygiene. Thank you very much.
Okay, can I say something I learned?
Yeah.
About shaving. That's the only thing I have to contribute anyway. That when you're shaving, you should shave in the direction in which your hair grows, not against the direction. You know how some people are saying, even when they want to shave their underarm or they want to shave their legs,
they shave anyhow.
Or they want to, no, they're like, if I shave in the direction in which this hair is growing, it will not remove completely. Let me shave against, so they will now start shaving, you know. So I think it's very important because what happens when you shave in the direction against your hair growth is that, yes, and then you lock up the
hair inside the follicle,
there. And so it now causes an ingrowth instead of it coming out.
And your bumps, basically.
Exactly, and
now,
it results in
let
bumps.
me also add one thing: is if you can use a hot towel to dab your face after you shave.
After or before?
After you shave.
After.
It's fantastic. It's your boy, you know how we do. Talk to the
You feel cool, yeah?
I feel cool, man.
All right, so we have talked about the 5. I'm sure if you're a lady and you have a man with
that
bumps,
you love,
you may, or a brother or a father, or somebody close to you with bumps, you may want to take Dr. Foy's advice. I don't really have much to contribute. I hope this is 5 tips. I don't know if they have been proven and tested, but you know that you can tweet at us at Cool TV Body and Soul to just endorse what Dr. Foy just said, or if you have extra tips. If you have extra tips, don't take it personally, honey.
It's been a fantastic show.
It's been amazing.
Good.
I mean, it's been a wonderful show. We've talked about tingling, paresthesia,
coughing,
and
hair care, barber's care. Now, if you want to buy a clipper, you can tweet at me too. I sell clippers.
Is that how many things do you do? Oh my God!
See you
next time.
Bye.